Every Zohran interview goes like this.
Mamdani.
Oh, I saw this one. This is great. Yeah.
People see you, and they assume that you wish death to all Jews. How are you going to convince them you don't? But you do view Palestinians as people. I mean, that makes people uncomfortable, obviously. But do you love Israel? How much do you love Israel? You are obviously Muslim. So I don't really... That's kind of... People don't like that. Your skin's also pretty tan. People are getting uncomfortable. How are you going to convince them that you're not a terrorist? When are you going?
It's so crazy, and it speaks to the permissibility of Islamophobia and how permanent a fixture it's become in American politics, and how quickly Americans like snap back to this shit post October 7. That like questions like this are not immediately condemned. You know what I mean? People don't go, "What are you doing?" Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean that you can like create a victimhood structure around the hysterics of one group, and just like that gives you the opportunity to be as racist as you want? It is kind of fucking wild.
Are you going to Tel Aviv? When are you going to Tel Aviv? Andrew Cuomo is representing Netanyahu. Why don't you do that? Is it because you don't love Israel? Why don't you love Israel? Do you think that Israel should exist as a Jewish ethno-state? You seem to think that it's okay to criticize Israel. Why? Why is that? It's because you're anti-Semitic. Okay?
It literally is just like, it's like a racist white guy running around telling like a black person, what is this? Y'all watch Fear In. It's like having a racist white commentator or like a racist white guy running around and being like, well, you're black. Why do you want to kill every cop? As a black candidate, your presence makes me fearful. It makes me feel like you are anti-Christian. It makes me feel like you want to take over the country and make it a black supremacist country. It's like, well, what are we doing? What is this shit? What is this shit? At a certain point, after, I don't know, the 700th time, people should be like, okay, I don't think he's fucking anti-Semitic. I think he's anti-Israel. If you want to have a conversation about that, that's fine. Even though, you know, how much you want to have that conversation, probably not the best time to have that right now if you're pro-Israel, because not a lot of allies around. Okay? But it's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? So much of this is just like being a straightforward racist douchebag and operating under the assumption that your presence as a brown Muslim dude is scary, and your statements as a brown Muslim guy about Israel extra scary, probably because you're anti-Semitic, right? Must be because you're anti-Semitic. Can you please admit that you're anti-Semitic so that we can fucking finally, you know, let this stuff, let's put this to bed. You're anti-Semitic. You're anti-Semitic. You're an anti-Semitic guy. Because you don't understand, your presence scares me. I am a supporter of Israel. I'm not even Jewish, but I'm like thinking about how other Jews are scared of your presence and your anti-Israel positions. So can you stop doing that? I will say the Zohran victory has sparked some interest even from more radical elements, more radical people that I do know that normally would scoff at the DSA into engaging with the DSA and engaging with electoralism. So that's actually kind of cool as well. Now, obviously, these groups are marginal. They're tiny. They're ultimately inconsequential. But like the way I see it is, if you got like well-read, ideologically minded people who consider themselves to be more radical in the DSA or whatever, but refused to show support of the DSA up until now, getting on board, that means like normies are certainly going to be doing that in droves, right?